I've done a video about a Jump Force tier list in the past. Obviously, since then, not only have they added DLC characters to the game, but they've also updated different characters' movesets, which affects everybody else because that's how a meta works. So I thought I'd update my tier list, add the DLC characters. Keep in mind, this is a pretty rough tier list because I haven't been playing the game as heavily as I should, but I consulted a couple other people in the community and I'm fairly confident with this tier list. So let's go over D tier first. I think a very notable character to put in D tier is Deku. He's very defining of D tier. He doesn't have a lot of combos and even his non-combo options are just not good. And following that same type of line, we're going to put Yusuke in here as well. Not a particularly good assist, not a particularly good combo game, not a particularly good neutral play, just not a good character. Kurapika suffers from pretty similar things, not a whole lot of combos. His assist is not good. His healing mechanic doesn't really benefit him as much as it should. I wanted to put Gaara higher up, but he probably belongs down here. His combo potential is just really bad, and his saving grace, which is his assist, is just a worse version than the good assists that are already in the game. So yeah, sadly Gaara's all the way down here. Renji's got problems. His combos kind of suck, and he hasn't really got anything that's saving him from those bad combos. Kaguya could honestly go up one tier, but she's really big and it's hard to see what your opponent's doing, so she probably gets knocked down a tier for that. Moving on to C tier, these characters do have combos, but they're just worse at doing it than everybody else. So an example of a character like that would be Trunks. If I can find him, there he is. Trunks. Again, a character who has combos and even a decent projectile game, but he just falls short compared to the other characters on the roster. Same thing for Boruto. I mean, he's got some cool special moves and his combos are decent, but just worse than everyone else. Frieza's projectile game is actually better than I think most people give him credit for, and I could even see him moving up one tier, but I think he's around here. And Sanji has to go here as well. I actually think Sanji could even be in B tier, but I decided to put him here in C tier or low tier because if he was ever actually good, all the females on the roster would instantly become better because you could just counter Sanji super hard like that. And while that doesn't really hold back Sanji currently, it would hold him back if he was good. Like right now, you can go play Sanji and the female debuff won't do anything against you because it would be very rare that you verse a female character. But if Sanji was an SS tier character and he's like one of the best characters in the game, all the female characters on the roster would go up like 2 tiers just because they counter Sanji. Boa can go here. Boa is actually an example of a character who would be incredibly good if Sanji was good. She's got combo game and she can keep up with most of the characters on the roster. She just has to spend more resources to do it than everyone else. So she's all the way down here. Honestly, if they reduced the cost of a lot of her special moves, she could be all the way up in S tier. But right now, the cost of her special moves is holding her back a lot. Cell has the same moveset as a lot of the Dragon Ball characters, right? Projectile plus dash attack. And if the other Dragon Ball characters didn't exist, Cell could probably be a little bit higher up on this list, but there's no reason to play Cell when you have someone like Goku, which we'll talk about later. Moving on to mid tier, these are the characters who are certainly good. Some of them will have something that feels really good about them. So an example of this is somebody like Asta. Asta has really strong combo game, and he even has special moves that are specific to him and even passive effects that make it feel like he should be really high up, right? His ability to drain people's energy, his ability to stop you from using your awakening technique, all of these things seem like they're super good, but honestly, they're just a bit too situational. Dai is another character. He's got a lot of combo potential, a really high damage threshold, but unfortunately a lot of his damage is super unpractical because of the amount of resources that are required to do it. Naruto is actually a really good character. I think a lot of people doubt how good he is. Again, it's just the same situation of other characters do it better. Shishio is a character with incredible damage potential, but again, it's the same problem as Dai. His damage is just so impractical. Toguro, his neutral game is just way worse. He's slow, although he is faster than most big characters. He is slow, and his special moves don't really play well into a neutral game at all. He feels very limited. His heavy attack is good because it's like a full circle, but it can still be dodged with a backstep. So against a good player, it's not going to work out as frequently as you might want it to. Szabo, again, good character, got combo potential, has a projectile, has a lot of variety. Honestly, I think if they just upped his damage for a lot of his moves, he would be a significantly better character. And Dio, kind of the same thing. He's got a good spread of moves. He's got combo continuers, he's got projectiles, he's got a dash attack that's an unblockable. I think the big thing holding him back is damage, maybe speed. We can move on to A tier. These are the playable characters. When I say playable, I don't mean that like the other characters below these characters are are unplayable. What I mean is that if this game was like competitive and it was an esport or whatever, you wouldn't see any of the characters below A tier because everyone would be trying to win as much as possible. So you would see these characters. Starting off with Kenshin. Kenshin has incredible pressure game, really high damaging combos. His grab is quick. He's got good block strings into his grab. Definitely a good character. I'm actually going to add one more character to B tier, and that's going to be Rukia. Initially, I was going to put her in A tier, but I think too many assists stop her assist, or I think too many moves stop her assist, and she just takes way too long to actually do her move, and they're just better assists in the game, unfortunately. But for my second character in B tier, I'm gonna go with Seiya. I think a lot of people sleep on Seiya. He's got really good combo potential. He's got a good special spread. I think the worst part about him is probably his awakening technique. It's kind of hard to combo into, but apart from that, he's just a really solid character. Piccolo's in A tier. Honestly, he'd probably be mid tier if it wasn't for his assist. His assist is still good even after the assist nerfs. Yeah, it's a strong character. I wouldn't call him like S tier or SS, but certainly good. Jojo. Probably one of my favorite characters in the game to play. Like aesthetically, he's really cool. But the main reason he's really good is just because of his combo potential. He's really quick. His assist is good. Well, kind of. I would say the worst thing about Jojo is that he doesn't have a projectile. Luffy. Yeah, Luffy's just good. A lot of the things I said about Kenshin are also true for Luffy. He's got good mix-up game. He's got unblockables. You can do things with Luffy that keep your opponent on edge. I'll be honest, I don't know why this character belongs here because I don't understand how to play them properly, but that's Gon. I see people play Gon and I don't understand how they're doing it. Maybe I'll look into how the Gon combos actually work, but Gon is probably the most technical character in the game and he gets really good damage for doing it, but I'm still not sure how practical the character is. If the damage I see from Gon is actually practical, he'd probably be S tier, but for now he's probably just A tier. Gon's the character I'm least confident about. He could be anywhere from S tier to like C tier, but I'm gonna put him in A tier. Oh, I totally forgot to add one character to B tier, and that was Vegeta. Vegeta's fast and he has a lot of options, but he's just not as good as we initially thought. Yugi Moto is going to be an A tier. I'm sure everyone remembers the videos I made about Yugi Moto being an awful character, and I still think he's worse than people give him credit for, but I think the patches helped him out quite a lot, and I do think that people could play a lot better against him. I noticed that when I play Yugi Moto, no one's really applying pressure to me the same way that I would if I was playing against Yugi Moto. Really, if you put pressure on Yugi Moto, there's not much he can do about it. So just keep up that pressure. All right, now we're getting into the cream of the crop, the best characters in the game. Let's start off with Kakashi. Honestly, Kakashi is not much better than the characters that are in A tier. It's his assist that gets him up there. Sasuke. Sasuke's got really strong combos, some setup stuff. His assist is good. It locks people in place. Zorro is no longer SS tier since his nerfs, but he's still an incredibly good character. I would definitely say that he's easily top 3, maybe top 5 in the game. Really strong character. Goku. This is a character I heavily underestimated at the start of Jump Force. He is very, very, very powerful, but it's mainly because of synergy with like different projectile assists and then just basically spamming, if you want to call it spamming, and then you've got your dash attack to kind of mix up your opponent. Yeah, really, really cool character. Also, you can combo Spirit Bomb after a grab, which is something I learned while recording an A to Z episode that is yet to air. I think Hisoka belongs in S tier. I could see him being A tier, but honestly, I just think because of his ability to counter projectiles, he probably deserves to be one spot above wherever you would put him by default. And by default, I initially wanted to put him in A tier, so I'll put him in S tier because of that anti-projectile move. Killua. I could see a lot of people wanting to put Killua in SS tier, but I don't think he's quite that good. You'll see the type of characters I've got up there in a minute. Oh my god, I just realized we've made it this far into this video and I haven't placed Blackbeard, and you guys probably think I'm going to put Blackbeard like up here or something. No. Blackbeard's like down here with like Deku and all of that. I'm sorry, I forgot to put him down there. The camera just doesn't work towards his benefit. He's super slow. His abilities don't actually combo together the way that you would want them to theoretically. If his camera was fixed, he would probably go up to like B tier. But for now, the way that he works, I would put him in the don't play category. Shiryu, I think, belongs in S tier. He's just a really, really solid character. If you doubt me when I say that, go play this character. Give him a good assist like a Piccolo or I don't know. Honestly, the way that his combos work, you would have to like try the assist a bunch of times. Vegeta probably works with him too. This is why that even if this game was played at a super high level, I still think you would see some characters in B tier just because of their assist. Obviously, I'm saving the DLC for last. These last 4 characters here are actually going to be pretty hard to place. Personally, I don't think Aizen is SS tier anymore. I initially got told this by Birdo because I sent him like the initial draft of my tier list, and he noticed that I had Aizen pretty high, and he talked to me about Aizen being worse than he was before, and I tried him out, and the difference is actually pretty marginal, but I think it is enough to take him away from SS tier down to S tier. Really good character still though. And Kenshiro is also S tier. I think the reason a lot of people sleep on this character is that he doesn't do anything flashy. Like, he doesn't necessarily like win games. He's the best fair character in the game. You know, like when you think about like a really, really good character, that character has something that feels unfair. So for example, Ichigo's projectile, Killua's rushdown gameplay style, Yuki's projectiles. These characters are really, really good. Kenshiro doesn't really have anything like that, right? He doesn't have something that's like super annoying or something that feels like it's the core part of his kit, but it doesn't matter. He's just so well-rounded and so good. And I think the reason you don't see him so much is just because he's just kind of boring, but that's okay. He's still super good. Best characters in the game are Ichigo and Raya. Crazy to me that Ichigo is still as good as he is. He definitely needs to see some nerfs. This character is super good. If you haven't seen a tier list like this before, basically SS tier means they should probably get nerfed. And then these characters down here are like actually like good and like they're still balanced and they're fine. Yeah, but these characters here gotta go. So where do I put the DLC characters? I think All Might's low tier. He's got combos, but it's just worse than everyone else's. Again, same reason that Bo is here. Same reason that Sanji's here. Well, Sanji's should probably be here if it wasn't for his other stuff. And I think Kayaba belongs in mid tier. He's just kind of a slower version of Yugi. I mean, his moveset is significantly different, but it is hard to not contrast the two characters because they play fairly similarly, or they have fairly similar special moves, and Kaiba's are just worse. Still a really fun character though. And finally, Biscuit is S tier. She's really good. Good combos, she's got a buff, counter, good spread of special moves. So that's it. My Jump Force tier list. Let me know if you disagree, because I'm sure you will. I'm sure you're going to comment about how much you love Blackbeard and how much he should be SS tier. But nope. He's staying down here. If you were able to enjoy this video, I'd appreciate it if you could leave a like on it. It does help other people find the video. If you're new around here, subscribe to keep up to date with content like this. My name has been Bilbsy, and I'll see you in the next video.